Now, I initially had a completely different plan for this video considering what day this is, but I just don't have the energy to deal with racists and Nazis. Yes, I know. What's the difference? Readers, it's the first week of my birthday month, and I figured, what the fuck, let's just bring back the Q&A videos. So earlier on today, I asked you all if you had any Qs that you wanted me to A. And so I looked through them and chose 7. As I stated before, I used to do Q&A videos during the first week of every month back in the day. So if I didn't get your question in this video, don't worry, they'll be high priority come the next one. So with that being said, let's get started. Keyshawn Cook asks, who's your favorite superhero? So I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it, my favorite superhero is Batman. He was how I was introduced to superheroes in the first place. Batman 1989 was the very first movie I remember watching. And as far as mainstream superhero medium is concerned, he was how I initially got into comic books. And it was through Batman comics and see him interacting with Superman, who was the second movie I ever remember watching, which was the Richard Donner 1978 one, or 9. Which one of those years? Whichever one of those years. Is how I initially became more of a DC fan than a Marvel fan, even though I do still have my favorite Marvel heroes. My main favorite Marvel heroes include Thor and Doctor Strange, while my main DC heroes are Batman, Superman, Shazam, Captain Marvel, and Dr. Fate. But yeah, if it wasn't for Batman introducing me to the world of superheroes, I probably would have gotten into them later on in the game, honestly. Adjacent Films asks, who's your favorite member of the Bat family? Personally, my favorite's Nightwing. That's a good choice, I also like Nightwing. But if I were to pick an all-time favorite member of the Bat family, I would say my top tier choice is Batwoman. And I love Batwoman. I love her personality, I love her attitude, I love the aesthetic of her costume, and the overall aesthetic of her pre-New 52/Rebirth comic run. It was very pleasing to the eye. I do wish that there were writers for her that had a better understanding of what an LGBT plus superhero actually means in comic books. Or better yet, writers that broke the trope that in order for you to be a good LGBT superhero in comic books, your significant other / partner has to die. I fucking hate that trope. But yeah, ever since she was reintroduced to modern day DC Comics, she's always been my favorite all-time Bat family member, with my second runner-up being Damian Wayne. Specifically Rebirth Damian Wayne, now that he's like good friends with Superman's son. That comic is great and adorable and everything. Ira Ripeson asks, what's been your experience in the queer community as a bi-identifying guy? I always find it hard to find bi guys and have never really gelled with the quote-unquote mainstream gay queer community. Honestly, same. And that's no shade at all to the mainstream gay queer community. It has a lot of potential. I just personally wish that it was more as inclusive as they initially want it to be. Because as a black queer man, I have definitely experienced racism in the queer community. And as a black bi man, I can definitely say that bi erasure in the queer community is definitely a thing. But one of the things I found that works best for me, especially being that of an introvert trying to like branch out into different things, is to like find and live your truth and also find the communities within that bubble, within your truth, out there for you. For example, I'm a geek. I like comic books, I like movies, I like television shows, I like video games. So when I ever have that rare ass combination of wanting to go out of my bubble and experience the world and having enough fucking money, I'll go to a comic convention that's very inclusive of like queer people and people of color, or a combination of both. I'll talk to people, I'll go to the right panels. If I'm feeling very adventurous, I'll do that whole like 5-minute flash first date thing. And meet people that way. So as far as the community overall, yes, I definitely agree. Change does need to happen in order for like people to feel more accepted in a place where you would imagine people be more accepted despite everything that's happened to their past. But what I do is that I just live my truth and seek people who live in that same truth, and we click that way. Quinn Masters asks, do you have any recommendations for other queer and or POC YouTube content creators? Oh yeah, sure, I watch them all the time. You got Nicola Foti, aka Soundly Awake. You have Jade, aka Foxy Hot Mess. You have Miles J, you have Mac Does It, you have Trey Melvin. Heartbeat doesn't post as much as she does on her main and vlog channels, and is currently working on her sim playthrough videos, which are awesome. I wish YouTube would like bring back her channel. I really do. But trust me when I say that when she does post, I'm right fucking there. Everybody that I just mentioned, I completely look up to, and I hope to work with them someday. So if you're looking for more queer people or queer people of color on YouTube, I definitely recommend that you check them out. Michael Scally asks, do I have any thoughts on Marvel and DC spoiling their own comics? It's funny that you mentioned that, Michael, because I'm actually working with Scott over on NerdSync on a collab video for his channel on this exact same topic. For anybody not knowing what I'm talking about, there was a report about DC spoiling issue 50 of the latest rebirth of Batman, in which case Bruce Wayne and Selina Kyle finally get married, and I'm so happy. Yes, my reaction means that I have not attempted to spoil this for myself at all. Like, I've been wanting to experience this moment for like years, and I'll be damned if I let DC of all people like spoil this shit for me. But yeah, Scott and I are going to be talking about this subject very heavily over on NerdSync, so look out for that one when it comes out. Wally West asks, would you ever do a video just explaining and geeking over the Egyptian pantheon and mythology? Yes. However, it's been a very long time, and I just need to bone up just a little bit. Like, I don't really remember a lot of the stories in detail, but I definitely remember some of like the character arcs regarding some of the Egyptian gods and some of the trials that they face, but not really fleshed out stories. And honestly, I've been looking for a book that had them chronicled like that. Not anything like Neil Gaiman's Norse mythology book, but something along the lines of like the simplified stories. Like, the closest thing that I got was purchasing a copy of the Egyptian Book of the Dead, like the legit Egyptian Book of the Dead, not the mummy version. Back in 2011 when I was taking a vacation in Ohio to visit the Museum of Natural History. Yes, I'm aware one does not vacation in Ohio, but I really wanted to go to this Egyptian exhibit. But yes, the Egyptian pantheon and Egyptian mythology are pretty much my favorite pantheon and my favorite set of mythology, so I would love to do a video about that. Skypup asks, since you like Paranoia Agent so much, who would you pick to direct a live-action adaptation if they ever made one? So before I answer this question, let me go on and just state this for the fact right now. I have yet to watch an anime that I believe would adapt correctly if made into a live-action movie. Mostly because, like other variants of episodic television, I believe that the pacing and the way character development and the way the story is told over the course of like anime or TV shows or like half-hour cartoons is a bit broad to capture in like a 2.5-hour movie. And I'm sure that there are plenty of examples that prove what I just said wrong, like the A-Team was pretty decent, The Man from U.N.C.L.E. was pretty decent. Nowadays, people tend to forget that the Mission Impossible movie series was based on the Mission Impossible TV series, so I mean, it can be done. I just never seen it done when it comes to anime. Properly. But now, let me answer your question. If I had to choose, it would be a combination of two directors, not just one. And my combination would be Guillermo del Toro and Darren Aronofsky. And the movie that made me choose Darren Aronofsky was a combination of Black Swan and Mother. While he does a good job with his visuals, he really has a great sense of psychological thrillers, psychological horror, and just getting into the overall psyche of the characters that are in his movies. And then Guillermo del Toro for the visuals, for the pacing, for understanding the source material. Especially given the fact that he's a huge anime fan himself. I've seen in his study that he has like every single version of every single manga collection of Monster, which is constantly referred to me once people find out that I love Paranoia Agent. So he's definitely on there. But yeah, if those two could just like decide to pull some Russo brothers ass shit and decide that they want to make Paranoia Agent, I wouldn't be mad that they decided to do it. But readers, with that, your homework assignment for the day. Write in the comment section below any questions you want me to answer for August's Q&A. And like I said before, if I didn't get to your question this time, yours will take top priority. If you want to help support the channel, you can purchase official merchandise by clicking the card at the end of the video or in the link in the description down below. Also, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, because I post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and every other Friday. But until then, this is Readus 101. Class dismissed.